Celtic's record signing has turned heads across the entire football industry, with people inside the game shocked that Premier League clubs did not step in to block the deal. We also have a warning for Celtic fans about a wave of fake transfer news that even caught out a former Celtic striker, the real update on Hassan from the man at Real Oviedo who controls the decision, and a former Celtic cult hero set to become a manager. Let's get into it. But first, make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel for more Celtic content. Casper Ho's move to Celtic has generated a level of attention that goes well beyond the usual reaction to a Scottish Premiership signing, with people right across the football industry apparently taken aback that English Premier League clubs did not move to hijack the deal. Ho completed a club record £11 million move from Bodo Glimt on Tuesday, signing a 4-year contract with the option of a further year. The fee alone made it a statement transfer, but it is the calibre of clubs who chose not to bid that has really caught the eye. According to Sky Sports news reporter Anthony Joseph, the reaction inside the game has been one of genuine surprise. He wrote that, based on conversations he had with people in football and responses in his social media feed, there appeared to be real shock that Premier League clubs or other top 5 European League sides were not attempting to hijack the deal. Former Celtic defender Vidar Riseth added more context, suggesting Ho could comfortably have commanded a fee of between 16 and 20 million pounds on the open market, and that the striker's personal desire to join Celtic was ultimately what prevented a bidding war from developing. The numbers back up why that surprise makes sense. At Bodo Glimt, Ho scored 53 goals in 102 appearances. He scored against Manchester City, Atletico Madrid, Inter Milan and Sporting in the Champions League. He is 25 years old and coming off the kind of form that clubs across Europe track obsessively. Celtic got him for 11 million. It looks like an extraordinary piece of business. Now for the main story, as Celtic fans and even former Celtic striker Kris were caught out by a fake transfer update circulating on social media, in a story that highlights a growing problem around false information in the transfer window. A verified account on social media, impersonating respected journalist David Ornstein, posted a claim that Celtic had reached an agreement with SC Paderborn for Mika Bauer, that a medical had been scheduled, and that Bauer had rejected a move to Rangers. The post spread rapidly, with many supporters taking it at face value, given the blue tick next to the account name. Sutton himself retweeted it before the post was identified as false and subsequently deleted. None of the claims were true. The account was a fake. But the speed at which the post circulated shows exactly how the current verification system on social media is being exploited. A paid blue tick no longer means anything in terms of credibility, and Celtic fans, who are understandably desperate for transfer news with the season about to start, are a perfect target for this kind of misinformation. What is actually true is this: Celtic remain hopeful of signing Bauer. An opening bid of around £4 million was rejected by Paderborn. Bauer himself is understood to be keen on the move, and personal terms between the player and Celtic have already been worked through. The deal is still alive, but there is more work to do between the two clubs, and negotiations could run deep into the remainder of the window. Celtic News understands the situation is as described above, not as the fake account claimed. Supporters should treat anything outside of trusted sources with extreme caution until official confirmation arrives. In other news, Real Oviedo's sporting director has delivered a message that pours cold water on suggestions that a deal for Hassan is already done, making clear that his club are the ones in control of any decision about the winger's future. Reports circulated earlier this week claiming Celtic had reached an agreement with both Hassan and Real Oviedo for the Egyptian winger's signature. Celtic News chose not to run those claims after understanding them to be premature, and the journalist behind the original social media post has since deleted it. However, negotiations have not collapsed. Celtic are still in discussions and continue to pursue a move for Hassan, who enters the final year of his contract with the Spanish second division club. Speaking at a press conference and quoted by Record Sport, Real Oviedo sporting director David Fernandez was measured but firm. He said, "We are prepared for anything that might happen. We already have a significant portion of the squad with us. This is all a club decision. We're going to try to keep the best players and let go of those who need to leave. Everything that happens makes us activate or deactivate things. Everything that happens is part of the job. The message is clear. Oviedo are not in a rush and will only move if the terms suit them. Hassan, having 1 year left on his contract, gives Celtic some leverage, but it does not force Oviedo's hand completely. They can hold firm and lose him for nothing next summer if no deal they are happy with materialises. Hassan made a real impression at the World Cup, and interest in him will not be restricted to Celtic. The club will need to move with purpose to get this one over the line. In other news, Kris Boyd has labelled Casper Ho a top signing for Celtic and described the move as a statement that was needed to get supporters back on side after a frustrating start to the window. Boyd, speaking to Sunsport, was direct in his assessment. He said, "You've got to say, it's someone with a Champions League pedigree, it's someone who scores goals on a regular basis, and for me, looking at it right now, it could be a very, very good addition for Celtic. They had to make a statement signing, more so to get probably a lot of the fans off their backs, because we all know at this time of the year as well, it takes time to get deals done, but Celtic seem to do it every single year, and that's why there's probably there's more groans coming from the Celtic fans. But I think Martin O'Neill would have been told at the start when he took the job that there would be signings coming in, and you're now starting to see them. And I think for me, it's a top signing for Celtic. Boyd is not wrong about the wider picture. The frustration among Celtic supporters has been building for weeks, with the window feeling slow at a time when key players were leaving and recruits were not arriving. Ho changes that mood immediately. Whether his arrival now triggers further signings being completed quickly remains the key question. The squad still needs work in multiple areas before the Champions League playoffs arrive in 3 weeks. Boyd's take is that the board told O'Neill signings were coming. If Ho is the start of that, the expectation is that more will follow soon. Lastly, former Celtic defender Marvin Compper is set to become the manager of Belgian side Royal Antwerp, in a story that will raise a smile among supporters who remember his unusual time at Parkhead. Compper is one of Celtic's most unusual pieces of transfer history. He arrived from RB Leipzig in January 2018 for around £1 million under Brendan Rodgers. Injuries hit him almost immediately, and he made just one competitive appearance for the club, a 3-0 Scottish Cup victory over Morton in March of that year. He left on a free transfer in July 2019, having barely kicked a ball. Despite that, Compper somehow became a cult figure among Celtic supporters. He received one of the loudest cheers at the trophy presentation that season, and his name is remembered with genuine warmth despite contributing almost nothing on the pitch. It is one of football's more baffling cult hero stories. Since retiring, he has quietly built a coaching career. That's all the latest Celtic news for today. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and drop a comment below with your thoughts. I'll see you in the next one.